Unfortunately, when children are born, they don't come with a handbook. On November 6, 1993, when friends and neighbors Steve Scott and Faith Carrizales of Wichita Falls, Texas, agreed to take their kids out for a drive, they had nothing but the best intentions.
Hey, slow down, man.
I didn't feel AJ was old enough to ride a car by himself. There were no harnesses, no seat belts or anything. But we agreed to allow him to ride with Melissa.
$5 piece, huh?
5-year-old A.J. Carrizales was put on a cushion in front of 11-year-old Melissa Scott.
He's my only child. I need him just as much as he needs me.
Be careful, have fun. See you on the back side. Okay, let's go. Hey, here we go. All right.
I took off with AJ, and he was, screaming and yelling and just having a blast.
AJ was all smiles. He just thought that was the neatest thing. He'd never been in a go-kart before.
Everybody was having a blast, just looking back at each other and making the corners and just excited because this is something that they just hadn't done every day. We got through with the first session and they were cold, but they were still wanting to ride more. And I said, well, maybe one more time.
They had a real fast go-kart. I was trying to catch up with them, but they were way ahead of me. My brother's still right behind me, just making faces and, scaring me. I had the gas all the way down, and we were going awfully fast. It seemed like 50 miles an hour. I came around the corner real fast, and then I slid over.
All of a sudden, there was just a quick turn right in front of us.
What happened? AJ, hey.
It just happened so quick. My head just went, it just popped or something, because I hit it just head on.
Melissa, what happened? What happened?
I didn't see the actual impact, but AJ was very limp and very listless. We weren't real alarmed, we just thought he got the wind knocked out of him.
Lay your head down, buddy. Be real easy.
He had no visible injuries. There was no blood, no bruises, no, nothing.
Tell me Talk to me. Tell me how you feel.
I honestly didn't think anything was wrong with him.
Get him to walk around a little bit. See if he'll walk.
Can you walk just a little bit for me?
Hold his hand.
Easy.
He was just kind of moaning, like when he got socked in the stomach. And he said, Mommy, I don't want to ride the go-karts anymore. Please, don't bring me back here anymore. Just take me home. Let me go to bed.
We'll give you a call. We'll get back. Okay? Good. Here we go.
AJ's the kind of kid that takes a knock and he gets up running. So if something knocks him down and keeps him down, then that's an alarm for me.
Against AJ's objections, Faith decided to take her son to Wichita General Hospital. Robert Penson was the emergency physician on duty that night.
The nurse was concerned the child was injured by the way he was holding his abdomen. He also was complaining that actually he was all right and just really wanted to go home.
Show me where you're hurting at. Right here?
I stayed in the waiting area with Brad and Melissa. The hospital didn't look very busy at that time, but all of a sudden there was more doctors, and there was more nurses, and there was people moving around at a faster pace. And that was when the goosebumps came up on me. and I knew that something was not good.
AJ was given a CAT scan to check for abdominal injuries.
Here, Mommy's right here, okay? We'll go home when we're done, okay? It's not going to take that long.
He had an extensive laceration of his liver due to all the potential complications. His chances of survival are not that good. He's going to need to have surgery pretty soon.
They didn't understand if this liver was crushed as bad as it was, how he even made it to the emergency room where we were then.
Make a decision is his best care.
I was just in a state of shock. And I guess a part of me really didn't want to believe that it was that bad.
Whether he was going to live or whether he wasn't, that was the time to say bye to AJ.
We stood there until a helicopter was out of sight, wondering if you'll be able to see him when you get there.
AJ was taken by Care Flight helicopter to Cook-Fort Worth Children's Medical Center, 120 miles away. There, he was put under the care of pediatric surgeon Charles Snyder.
He had a massively distended abdomen by the time I saw him. And I don't think he had more than an hour or two left.
Go.
One of those veins that drain the blood out of the liver back into the body was ripped. And it's a difficult area surgically to get at. He also had essentially torn off half of his liver, and we completed that tear and removed that non-functional segment of the right part of his liver. We did everything we could to try to keep it up, but his blood pressure did drop a few times, and he may have had some poor blood flow to some of the organs in his body, including his brain, and we just won't know.
He could have brain damage, lung damage, kidney failure. They didn't know if the repairs they made to his liver would hold. Said 95 to 99% of injuries that serious don't survive. They had him medicated in a comatose-like state because they didn't want him to awake and be moving around. And all I could do was just look at all of the digital numbers on all of the equipment that was hooked up to him, just willing him to get higher and to get better.
Oh, God.
All I could think of was how bad I wanted him to make it. And then how would I deal with having a child that may not remember me, may not remember how to talk, or eat, or feed himself, or dress himself.
3 days had passed since the accident.
There wasn't but one thing to do at that point, and that was just pray for AJ. And it just seems like there was a heaven-sent blessing for that little boy.
Mommy opened his eyes. Oh, you did? AJ. AJ, Mommy's here. AJ, can you open your eyes?
He's such a fighter, and he's so brave. He rarely ever complained.
Hi, sweetheart.
And the way he recovered and bounced back. He captured a lot of hearts while he was down there. Made a lot of friends.
Hey, boys and girls, it's AJ!
Although AJ did lose the sight in his right eye as a result of his injuries, his recovery has been remarkable.
He's doing fantastic. He's running 90 to nothing. I can't keep up with him. It's just like it was before the accident. I always say I need a harness for him.
I was worried about him. He's my friend and he's nice. I'm glad he's still here.
Is everybody ready for some cake? You're home!
He can talk to me, and he can tell me he loves me, and he knows who I am. And that means more than anything. I thank God I took him to the hospital. If I'd taken him home, like he wanted, he would have bled to death.
I got a helmet in the garage, knee pads, and arm pads, and I could be safe when I go in a go-kart.
Okay. Graham, hold on. Okay.
We never go anywhere in our car without our seatbelts. And why I overlooked it and didn't think through enough to see the possibility of any danger in riding a go-kart, I don't know. That's something I have to live with.
My little girl, Melissa, had an airbag. It was A.J. Corrales.
He's a miracle child, and, you know, I feel good about that.
They're best of friends. They always will be. They'll never forget each other.
Next.
I just couldn't believe what was going on. 1 second, he was wrestling great. The next thing you know, he's injured and he's laying flat on his back.